Topic: A Simple Story by Beatrice Valerie Lewis. It was an ordinary December day in Karachi. I woke up to the smell of parathas and eggs being prepared in the kitchen. Like every day, I prayed to God to be with me throughout the day and make my day an exciting one, as, as I was tired of the same old routine of a college student. Morning started off in the usual way: no joke with my brothers, my father's lecture on the importance of reading the newspaper daily, and mother's list of the advantages of having breakfast. I headed half off to college with a dreadful feeling of having forgotten all that I had learned for the physics test. When the final bell rang at last, I handed over the paper to my professor, who stood with a knowing smirk on his face. Reaching home, I ran to my room, flopped onto my bed, and entered my dreamland with no physics exams or any other mental torture. Then I forced myself out of bed, got dressed, and refusing my mother's pleas to finish the half eaten sandwich, headed for the coaching center, which is a 20-minute walk from my house. I chose to walk that day because I was upset. I wanted to get rid of the building tension in the pit of my stomach. Halfway through the familiar road, I noticed a sudden commotion all around me as men who were earlier sitting huddled in pawn shops and men who were enjoying the doodh patti in the cold evening left their respected groups and ran around yelling frantically, "Close the shutters! Close the shutters!" I stood there paralyzed. My mind refused to work, and just as I forced myself to think of the safest possible way back home, I saw a familiar figure moving toward me. The sight of my brother brought such relief to me that I felt like crying. I vowed that day never to fight with him and to treat him like a king, so immense was my relief. He pulled me out of the street and onto the main road because people were firing with handguns from their balconies in the lane. As he led me towards the safety of our house, we witnessed vehicles being set on fire by a group of men who were no less than hooligans. These men were damaging other people's property as if it was their own, and were not thinking twice before breaking the car windows and removing the tires from cars and motorcycles to set on fire in the middle of the road. The vehicle owners, with no choice left, were running towards safety, turning around to see the last of their hard earned assets being ruined and turned to ashes. Even though it took us a full 15 long minutes, it was the most terrifying and frightful walk back home. I rushed into my house to find everyone glued to the TV set. On the television, I saw a huge crowd outside a hospital in Rawalpindi, crying and screaming. Yes, it was the 27th December 2007, when Benazir Bhutto was killed, when Karachi, the city of lights, turned into the city of darkness. Even though my terror-filled evening ended, but all the damage of people's property, all that firing, that entire blackout, the strikes that were held for the days to come, could not bring her back.